Welcome back to another episode of Tractor Roy. As always, my name is Trent, and I got a couple of helpers with me today. We're working on this 1950 Ford 8N tractor. Now, if you look back on the channel, they're pretty close to the beginning. I did a lot of work on this thing. That was a little while ago now, actually.
Yeah.
But he's been using this a ton, and he recently developed an issue with the ignition. So just to go over what we did to this thing, we put a new cap, rotor, plugs, wires, we rebuilt the carburetor. We ended up converting this to an electronic ignition off video separately of me doing this. I replaced the tires, had to put a new exhaust on here, a new muffler because that old one was rotted out. What else? I had to do a bunch of work to this thing actually. I had to reseal these axle housings. I think I did some seals on the PTO, but it looks like we got a couple of leaks, and it looks like I never sealed that. I just sealed the axle. So it looks like that's got a leak. He's okay with the leaks now. Before, when it was in his hangar, he was wanting to make sure it was in nice shape. We replaced the battery, which is still rocking and rolling. We replaced the lights. Oh, so I rewired it, and then I switched it to a 12-volt alternator. In the original video for this, I mentioned why I convert to alternators. Another reason for this is with generators, if you pull the battery, sometimes you have to repolarize it. Not always, but a lot of the time you have to. With alternators, you don't. Just as long as it spins, it puts out 12 volts. So that's another benefit to having alternators instead of generators, is stuff like this. You can pull the battery out, leave it, forget it. Anybody can just throw on a new battery and this thing will start charging. That's the nice thing about these one-wire alternators. So what we got going today is I got to replace this electronic ignition. Now, the first style of these, if you let the key on, it could burn out the sensor. I don't know if that's what happened here. This has been, probably 2 years ago. He hasn't used it every day, but he does use it quite a bit. He likes to tinker with it. So I'm gonna just replace it with another electronic, electronic points. No, whatever it is, electronic ignition. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So when this thing did have points in it, I put probably 5-6 sets of points in this thing because he was driving it. You know, he blades his driveway with it. It's really dusty. My theory is the dust was getting into that points foot, that rides on the cam of the distributor and opens and closes the point, and it was wearing that down a bunch. Didn't matter what brand I tried. There was a dust cover in here. I made sure it was greased. I went through everything, and no matter what, we could not keep a set of points in here. So we're gonna stick with the electronic points that we got. In addition, he would like these tires changed. I replaced them. Apparently this isn't a very good brand, and he is on this crushed asphalt. So I just noticed it's taken some pretty good chunks out of this thing, but it's starting to weather check and split. So we're gonna put a little bit better quality tire on it.
Oh, and also there's just a lot of splits on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of splits on these things. So we're not gonna go totally through this thing. There's some pretty good in-depth videos of this. I'm just kind of an average guy. This is what we're using. It's for a Ford 4-cylinder. This is the 12-volt negative ground version. That does matter. They do make 6-volt versions, they make positive ground versions and negative ground versions. So we're going with the 12-volt negative ground because we have an alternator. Now in that kit comes with this little baggie. These are going to be the screws that replace the breaker points plate and add that new electronic point setup or electronic ignition setup. One of these is going to be for the negative lead that goes to the negative side of the coil. The other one is going to be for the positive lead that goes to the positive side of the coil. So you really do have everything that you need to get this kit finished. Now this has the part number on here, 1244A. So this is going to work in conjunction with your electronic ignition plate by replacing that breaker points plate. This doesn't replace anything, it just slides over the top. You'll see it in a second, but there's magnets under each one of these 4 little dots. So as this thing spins, it'll pass the Hall effect sensor and it mimics the points opening by running against the cam of the distributor. I can even feel the magnetism here. And this replaces your breaker points plate. The points would go here. You've got your, that's a concentric screw, and your hold down screws will go in one of these couple of holes. Oh, I guess that's just the outer insulation, but This again has the part number 1244A. So the idea is as this thing spins around, each one of these magnets passes this Hall effect sensor and it'll close the circuit, go on these two wires, and sends power to your coil to fire the spark plug. It comes with positive and negative leads, and it has a little grommet that replaces where your insulator stud goes on the distributor. Okay, now down to the distributor. You use your regular cap. Nothing special about that. You can use the factory original one that this thing came with 70 years ago, or you can get a new one. Doesn't really matter. So we got that. That still gets used. Let's tuck it out of the way here. Your original rotor gets used because you still have to have coming off of your coil here in the center through here, and then hits whichever spark plug you're trying to fire. So you still have to time this just like you do normally. It's still you can still advance and retard the ignition, same thing. Now we're looking here, we got a 1244A. That's good because it ran with this one before. We want to make sure that it's going to work again, and it will. So you can kind of see what I was talking about. This thing gets so dusty. With that old setup, there was that dust cover. It doesn't really matter with this. So we still have the 1244A. Let's see. Yep, those magnets still work. But we're going to replace the whole setup. Okay, so this one is counterclockwise. This one's clockwise. You just got to pay attention to which way this is set up on yours, because it looks like I'm using this screw hole and this one. So that means I'm going to use this one right here and this one right here. And it's literally that easy. You just pull out those two screws, the whole points plate pops off. You can see where our old insulator stud went that the breaker point's attached to there. And then we're gonna run the new wires up here. That's it. Negative goes on the negative side, positive goes to your battery side. These are super easy. So I've removed our wires off the distributor and I've removed our screws. So now we just got to take this out. Which I might just have to bring you back for. Apparently, I thought this was going to be... Oh, there we go. So I've got that points plate removed, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to spray this out real quick before I get too much farther. But this is as far as you have to take it. Just have to take off that breaker points plate and then that isolation stud. I've already done it because we've already converted this once before. Okay, I just cut these the same length as the old ones because it lined up pretty nice. Now you got to make sure that you put these in before you crimp the ends on, and don't do what I just did and crimp the ends on. But these are pretty easy. Okay, now that's in. I'm gonna try and get a...
I'm gonna do the part. No, that's mine.
Okay.
The black one is actually...
Now we're gonna get this lined up like we needed to before, which was that hole. And there's a little bit of a... Oh, isn't there? Oh, yeah, right here. So there's a couple of little divots. So when you lay this thing in there, I don't know if you can see it, but they kind of get cradled, locked in there a little bit. And I forgot to spray this out. I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, that's all cleaned up. And I'm going to end up blocking this thing. But like I was saying, I'm going to end up using this hole here and this hole here. I'm lined up in that little notch, so I'm going to get this thing tightened down and then bring you back in a second once I get these wires laid out.
So where's the red one?
There's 4 little flat spots. There's also 4 little flat spots in here. So this thing, just make sure it seats all the way, because like if it's there, it's not seated. You turn it and it locks in. Now we have clearance between here. As you can see, this thing wiggles around, so that's good news. And then we just want to make sure that this is going to lay in there nice, and it is going to. And all we do on this side is make sure our rotor's lined up. Make sure we're in. Yep. And that's it. That's all the inside of one of these things looks like. Now I'm going to go ahead and crimp my ring terminals on, stick them on the coil because it's a lot easier without this cap being in the way with all the wires. And then we're going to see if we can fire this thing up. Now we're done. That's all it looks like from the outside. The only difference that you can see is 2 wires coming out here instead of just 1. Otherwise, it still retains the factory look, and really, that's not too bad of a conversion as far as looks and feasibility go. Okay, let's try and fire this bad boy up. Okay, we cracked the gas. Turn the key on. Give it some choke. That's this one. Pull it out. Okay, we're gonna go half throttle. Okay, you might have to hold the choke. Okay, now push the starter with the... Hold on, not yet. Ready? Clear prop. Oh yeah, let the choke off. Nice. We got it. So I give it some throttle. Let's see how it does.
This?
Yep, down is faster. No, sorry, you pull it down, it's faster. Keep going. All the way. Okay, all the way down. Oh yeah. Yeah, I haven't ran this thing in a while. We still have decent oil pressure. Our tack works, although it's got a little moisture in there.
No.
So we got plenty of voltage.
Oh, yeah.
That
Way
was a
too
lot. Oh my gosh, this thing runs great. Well, I mean, he told me it wasn't working maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and I just got all the parts ordered and came up here, and it fired up that easy. Okay, you ready to shut it down? Hold on, we'll shut the gas off for a sec. We probably won't let it run out of gas, but we'll let it drain down a little bit before we do. We got a minute, we can do it. Okay, now we're gonna knock out these tires. I'm thinking we're just gonna do it on the tractor, and I'm just gonna jack it up because sometimes it's easier, but we'll see. I can just rip it off and go down to the shop if I need to, but I'd love to just do it on here. Now, the ones we're taking off are Ag Stars.
Ag Stars.
And it should be, yeah, 419 is the Ford N series front ends. Now, we have Ag Stars, a brand new Ag Stars on another tractor, a Farmall A. It's got, I think, fronts and rears. And they've been on that tractor for like 2 years now, but that thing doesn't run, and it's just been sitting there since it hasn't ran. So they look better than this. So I don't know if it's just a combination of flexing and the, you know, what it's driving on or what. But these came in as a set, came with 2 fronts and the tubes. So that's just the reason I got it. But I don't know if I like these. So these new ones are BKTs. Now we've got some of these on other tractors that we've got new, and they seem to be holding up a lot better than what these Ag Stars are doing. And I've got regular tubes, so I bought these separate. Okay, we do have a bit of a storm rolling in, but we are just wrapping this thing up. We got the one tire mounted, aired up, bolted on, good to go. We're getting this other tire aired up whenever Junior here gets that thing screwed on. And then this tractor is good to go for another couple of years until, I don't know, maybe do an oil change on it here soon. So that's where we're gonna end this thing. We got that ignition all swapped out. We got 2 tires thrown on here. And this thing runs just flawlessly again. So I do kind of like those Pertronix ignitions. This is the only tractor that is around that we deal with. All the rest of ours have points. This is for a friend of ours up the road.
No, I need that paper.
This is for a friend of ours up the road, but all the rest of ours have regular points ignition systems. Now, other than this one issue, it seems like this thing's working out pretty well. So if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, throw a comment down below, and make sure you are subscribed to if you're not already. Now, if you like seeing more videos of this Ford 8M, let me know that in the comments too, because I can always come up here and find something to work on with this. Or I can go pick one of these things up. It seems like these videos are pretty popular. Anyways, thanks for sticking with us on this one, and I hope I'll catch you on the next one. Clear prop.